Yo, what is good YouTube? Magdubs here, back with another video, guys, and we have some more breaking news, highlights, notes, and observations from day 3 of the New York Jets training camp period, and this was by far the best day, the most informational day. I mean, we got a lot of notes and a lot of things to cover in this video, and a lot of positive news here coming out of New York, and we're going to cover that all in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Before we jump in, though, I need you guys to do me a big favor. Hit that like button really quick. Let's see if we can get the video up to 100 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to be covering the entirety of the Jets training camp period, all of the news, highlights, observations, everything. I got you guys covered, as well as the rest of the NFL highlights from training camp, all of it, as well as training preseason, any signings, trades, and the regular season. I will be streaming games, so if you guys want to watch some Jets games with me live on the channel, kind of react to it together, you guys can join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified not only every time we go live for a game, but every time we post one of these videos to keep you guys updated. But without any further ado, let's jump into day 3 of the New York Jets training camp. Now, these are all going to be the highlights from day 3. There was a lot, and I mean a lot, of 11-on-11 drills. I think practice ran for about 2 hours, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, but it looked like it was a fun day. The fans were there for the first time, and dude, I'm telling you right now, these Jets fans are so ready to have a new chapter started here in New York with Aaron Rodgers, and it seems like some more breaking news that I want to keep you guys updated with. Aaron Rodgers is actually planning on potentially playing longer than just this season, which is huge news for the Jets, and I could see them, making a big time run, especially as long as Aaron Rodgers is here. Now, one thing nothing too major that I want to bring up here. Jermaine Johnson is going back to number 11 where he had in college. I think at Florida State he wore number 11, and that was Denzel Mims' former number. He's now in Detroit, so he's going to be taking over that number. We also saw some new guys trying out, or guy who actually made the team, Alex Erickson. He's taking a lot of reps at kick returner, as well as TJ Luther and Mecole Hardman. So those guys are probably the guys who are going to compete for that job going forward. Defensively, this was the first day the defense actually kind of got tossed around a little bit. For day 1 and day 2, it was all defense. The defense absolutely dominated Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. They couldn't really find any sort of consistency on the offensive side of the ball on day 1 and day 2, but man, was this a whole new day. Now, I don't want to say everyone on the defense played bad. For example, Sauce Gardner actually had a pretty good day. I think he had an interception at one point. He had a couple of knockaways, which was good, and he looked very intriguing. I think we covered it in the last video. He looks like he bulked up a bit. He looked like he gained some or put on some muscle, which is huge news. So that is a good thing. Al Woods, also another guy, actually played really well on the interior of the line, showcased his speed a little bit, and he got a nice little tackle for a loss on, I think it was Zonovan Knight, I believe that's who it was in the backfield. But here goes Sauce Gardner with a nice little jump throw, but I think that was a design. It's to see if guys can jump routes. So I think that was that. Now, some offensive notes here that we have listed. Allen Lazard looked good, man. He looked like he was back ready to go. Did you see there him dribbling a soccer ball there, just doing whatever he got, whatever he could do in order to make it hard for that wide receiver to catch that ball. Tyler Conklin, he's moving all around the offense, which is a good sign. I think Aaron Rodgers, so far over the first 3 days, has loved Tyler Conklin through this offense, finding him a couple of times in the red zone area, finding him a couple of times down the seam, which is a good sign for Jets fans, because they're starting to really develop this wide receiver core, this just core in general of guys who can catch the ball. They have so many of them, and then they also use multiple different tight ends in their first team offense, including Kenny Yeboah. I don't know if I said that right. Also, Jeremy Ruckert, who we saw a lot in these videos. He caught a couple of different balls. But other than that, man, there was a lot of guys who looked good today. Aaron Rodgers, Allen Lazard, Tyler Conklin, Garrett Wilson, I believe it was his birthday. And then Zach Wilson also had a little bit of a bounce back day. Like I said before, this was definitely a day for the offense. They absolutely shined today. That's a big time catch right there in the end zone. I believe that was Tyler Conklin, but couldn't really tell. But I believe it was Tyler Conklin. Let me know in the comment section down below if you think it was someone else, and I might be wrong. And here you go. There's another ball down left side. I mean, I think it's a good day. There also was 3 fights, which is something to take note of. But overall, when I look at this roster, I see a lot of guys who can just make big time plays. I mean, Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, Mecole Hardman, Corey Davis, Randall Cobb, Alex Erickson, Irvin Charles. I mean, there's so many wide receivers on this team right now, so they're very deep in terms of that. Dwayne Brown, I don't think practiced again on day 3. We saw a little bit more of Billy Turner being the starter. Joe Tippmann looks good. Carter McGovern looks pretty good as well. You got Tyler Conklin, C.J. Uzomah, Jeremy Rucker, Zach Kuntz, who looks really good too. So they have so many guys, man, so many guys. And then defensively, this defense looks good. One thing I do want to note, though, Jamien Sherwood looks like he could be a full-time starter going forward, the former Auburn linebacker. But I think he kind of played more safety linebacker in college, but now he's looking to be the full-time middle linebacker, sub-linebacker, maybe you could say, for Jamien Sherwood. But overall, good day. There you go, Sauce Gardner. With the big-time deflection right there. That was good. Michael Carter II looks pretty good. You also bring over Jordan Whitehead from Tampa Bay, Adrian Amos from Green Bay, DJ Reed, who's looks very, very good. So, I mean, this Jets team has a ton of potential, a ton of talent, and I think that they could really make a push to have a big season next year. Let me know what you guys think, though. Who is one player that you think could potentially break out for the Jets this year? Who could be a guy who really makes a name for themselves throughout the next few weeks? And also comment down below your prediction of the record for the Jets next season. A lot of people think the Jets could actually win the division over the Bills and the Dolphins and the Patriots. I think that's actually a pretty good possibility here, but we'll see what happens, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's Jets video because, like I said, I got you guys covered with everything from here on out with the training camp. So, see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And if you love playing fantasy sports like football, basketball, baseball, and so many other sports, but also love being able to win money, you're going to want to stick around for this whole segment. Introducing Underdog Fantasy, the ultimate platform for fantasy sports lovers. Do you want to experience the thrill of drafting your team and competing for huge prizes? Well, look no further. With Underdog Fantasy, you get access to a wide range of fantasy sports, including football, basketball, baseball, and so much more. But here's what makes Underdog Fantasy stand out from all of those other apps. They've got quick and user-friendly drafting process, a unique and exciting game formats, fair and competitive contests for all skill levels, and attractive bonuses and promotions. Not only can you draft teams and compete with others, but you can also play a game of higher and lower, which is personally my favorite thing to do on there, but you can potentially win 20 times the money you put down. And if you use code MattyDubs when you sign up, Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. And what that means is basically when you deposit, let's say $100, they'll give you a free $100 to use and play with. Click the link in the description to get started, or head to the website right now to start dominating the fantasy world. And don't miss out on all the fun. Be a part of the Underdog community starting now. And don't forget, if you use code MattyDubs, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Let's get started. Get into drafts with me starting today.